Welcome to part 36 of Let's Play Tales of Arise Blind. Yes, we're carrying on with the story, and hopefully this isn't a point of no return. If it is, I'll just load the previous quick save. I don't think it should be too much of a problem. But anyway, let's carry on. So we discovered Shion's secret, that if she gets rid of the thorns, she dies, and here, behold, we are going to try and save her. I'll make sure that doesn't happen, but let's speak to everybody first.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelegion. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis.
Yes.
As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Okay, let's now speak to Kasara, our angel.
How are you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
No, the rock behind
You
me.
took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Indeed. Speak to Law.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
No.
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea.
I mean, she was very quiet lately.
Every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her,
Yeah, but
aren't
how are we
you?
supposed to know that?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her It was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
With all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, let's speak with... Who did we miss? Rinwell.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you
And
think about
Hootle.
it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Aw. Well, you keep learning new spells while you're at it. Okay, last but certainly not least...
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hello, Koenma, how are
Do you
you?
remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that?
Ahoy, matey,
Sorry, I can't remember.
and all that. I'm good.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot.
Just
I
catching
was
up on some
different back
story.
then. The Dahnans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renaissance.
Yeah, it's a good moment. Very good moment.
But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay.
He just wants that V.
I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now.
I mean, Alphen's a bit old for her, though.
So I'll
300
fight.
years old.
For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because
More like
of
a
me.
big banger. If he's that old.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Lenins...
It'd be really funny if, like,
finally live in
he took all his
peace.
clothes off, he's got this young face and this really wrinkly
But I
old
swear I'll
body
be
and this
there with
shriveled
you
up dick.
Until the very end.
It's like 300-year-old body. Surprise.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Well, that would certainly be a twist to the story. But why do you think he has all that heavy armor? He's certainly tried to hide something.
Everyone well rested? Now let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
No, no, no. We are not departing for Lenegis. We are doing things around the world first, because I'm sure there's side quests, as in the ones that are not spawning, and I'm completely imagining. There is one place that I need to go before going to Lenegis, but let's go and rest at the camp first. We do need to make some food. Yes, I wish to rest, even though we've just been sleeping like the last 2 episodes. Right.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shion in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright,
Oh.
I think that's enough fun for one day.
That's very out of character, though. Like, I know he's got the hots for her, but to say it like that openly, I don't know. I thought he was going to say something a bit more shy and reserved, like I thought it looked really nice. No, that's too forward, even at this point of the story. Right, yes. Let's cook something. Well, I don't know what to make, because I don't know what I'm doing, so... Good, I'm glad it's not just me thinking that. Oh, I love gnocchi. I don't know. Attack Army. I think. Let's just. Yeah, whatever.
Hey, that actually...
Good. All those great food picks, though, I know. Ooh, we can sleep with someone. Let's sleep with Law.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Yeah,
Hey,
sorry,
Law.
Shion, but...
About what you said before.
I know, the food's
When?
great. If you
were
like...
telling me how there
Oh,
were
I'll tell
things
you
you
after
wished
this.
You could have asked your dad. If you want, you can always come to me with your questions.
What brought this on all of a sudden? Don't I already lean on you enough as it is?
Still, there's plenty you would want to ask him if he was still alive, right?
I mean, yeah, but... I think you'll have a hard time answering any of them, if I'm being honest.
Ouch.
How
He just got
come?
rejected.
I mean, the stuff I want to ask him about is, like...
How a baby's
how he met
born?
my mom, and how he won her over. Stuff like that.
Okay.
Anyway, not really something you can help with, right?
You're right. Sorry, Law.
Yeah, I don't know about the birds and the bees.
Begin to imagine how to help with that.
I never had that talk, even in 300
There
years.
was someone experienced I could ask about this kind of stuff.
Well, why don't we ask Kisara? She's a
He
goer.
was definitely that.
Okay, that was awkward. What did I just see?
Let's make sure to kick ass tomorrow, too.
Well, that's not how you do it, Law. I mean, some people are into that, but...
I feel pretty
Wow.
refreshed after that.
Okay. Great. Yes. What's going on? Well, I can't do this. I don't think I'm higher level enough for this. They're like level 50 or 60 in that dungeon, so I can't do that. There is one thing I did get, and I... Oh, that's the... What side quests have we got active? The Elf Forest. Well, that's later on. That's the optional tower, which I can't do yet. That's also the optional tower. The rarest book, we haven't got that yet. Until that's what... Okay, so there's really nothing that's popped up. The only thing that I need to do is... where's my key items? Secret key. The key to a certain door in Calaglia. Simply beholding it makes one wonder what lies beyond. Now, I remember... At the very beginning of the game, there was this door that was locked in Calaglia, but I can't remember exactly where it was, and it's going to bug me, and I might just have to look it up. But I want to try at least first on my own, see if I can remember where it is before looking it up. So, oh god, it's definitely not in... Well, it's not here. Could it be in the mine? No, it's not in the mining tunnels. It might be in the ravine. I just remember something vaguely... Could it be in... No, I don't think it's in the ravine either. I think it's in... By the way, may I ask if you're open to occasionally chatting on Twitch? It's fine if you say no, of course. Well, it depends. I mean, feel free to send a message. I absolutely don't mind. But, yeah. Don't see why not. If I'm free, we can chat. I mean, we're chatting now, so... Chat for the win. I think it's in Ozbek. No, I'm an idiot. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Iglia Wastes. I think it's here. No, I don't know. It's definitely not the ruins. It's either Kurd Garrison, Iglia Wastes. What's this Cave of Solitude? I don't know. Was it the castle? Right. Iglia Wastes. I'm just kind of overly tentative and all. Well, I don't mind if you want to send a message. I mean, I responded to the one you sent earlier. So, by all means, if you want to send a message, send a message. I don't mind at all. I'm gonna... Is it the map action? Oh, that's alright. No worries. I can't remember where the door was. It's not in the ruins. You know what? I think it's here. Yes, I think it's here because I remember it being on high ground. Right, let's go here.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Right. It wasn't that, because that's the lift to take us to somewhere. Oh, go away, annoying little low-level creatures. I think it was up here. Just go to the map with the hottest women. I mean, most quests available. Well, where are the hottest women on this map? I mean, we've already got one with us, which is Kisara. Right. Wait, what's going on? There's a map action here. This is progress. Yes! No!
Seriously?
Oh god, not a level 8B! Oh phew, god, that was an endgame fight in a bit. Right, hold on to your horses.
Here, you want to try hold?
I wonder if it is this. Ooh. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be very impressed if I remember correctly. Okay, this is definitely something new, but it's not the... What is it? Reflector armor.
I found some equipment.
No, I find some equipment. You're just going to be wearing it. Wait, who's it for? Oh, Alphen. Which do you think is faster and more beautiful, Kisara or Shion, by the way? Oh, Kisara, without a doubt. Oh my god, look at the stats of this armor! Jesus Christ, 157 defense, 97 mental defense. Oh wow. That's a huge boost.
Let me take a look at
Kisara is beautiful because there's one thing about Kisara that I like. She's mature looking. She's got a lovely face. Her hair's really nice and natural. She's also very feminine. Like, I know Shion is, but Kisara is strong feminine. Like, she's very docile at the same time as well, and calm. I don't know. I think Kisara definitely has more appeal than Shion. Right, we actually got an extremely good piece of armor. Now, there was definitely a door somewhere here. It might be... It's not the Cave of Solitude, is it? Wait, was it? No. No, it wasn't here. Oh, I see. Not that big on Shion then, in terms of attractiveness, I mean. Well, to be quite honest, I'm gay, so I'm not attracted to either of them. But in terms of actual feminine beauty, I would say Kisara. I actually find... Which is actually... It's better... Because since I'm not attracted to any of them, I see it from a different perspective. So I look purely at the... visual. So, I don't know how to explain it. I still appreciate feminine beauty, but Kisara I find more beautiful than Shion. I think it's also because Kisara looks less anime, if that makes sense. She looks more quote-unquote realistic. Oh, go away!
I won't forgive you!
Little pest, where's my spray?
There are still
There it
more
is.
left.
Right. No time to hold back. This could...
Yeah, she looks more... Well, like I said, less anime.
be useful.
Right, I don't think I remember where this door is. I really can't. I thought it was here somewhere. It's not on the other side, is it? Oh, screw it. I'm going to look it up. It could be anywhere. Wait, before I look it up, I'm going to try one more map. I don't think it's in the Kurd garrison. It's not there. Trench of Flames. What's the Trench of Flames? Ah, east side. Lacerda Cliffs. Castle Gates. Castle Gates. Could it be here? Yeah, it is very forgiving. I'm just not that patient when it comes to very... You see, I like exploring, but I just don't like really vague hints. I just don't like wasting my time on the vague hints. I think if it gave a bit more information, I would be more inclined to have a go. But it just says, oh, it's in Calaglia, and that's it. I like my time respected, so you're going to have to give me a bit more than that. I don't like randomly just wandering around. And I have to say, if I was playing off stream, wouldn't be as big of a deal, but on stream I just don't like wandering aimlessly. I'm gonna go here because I don't know, I have a feeling. I just need more information.
Looks like we made it here in
Right.
one piece.
Could it... Gates of Fire, so I think this is where we entered. Could it be this door? Might be here. No. Was it the Gates of Fire? East side, Trench of Flames. Well, that's where we... I'm so confused. Right, I'm going to look it up. I have no info. I don't really want to spend hours looking at every single map until I find it. I just think it's a bit of a waste of time. So let's have a look. Tales of Arise, secret key location. Secret key. Is it found by defeating the Ilfrey? Yeah, once you have it, the secret key can be used to... Okay, can use it in the Trench of Flames, east side area of the Trench of Flames in Calaglia. Oh, I was literally... Oh, I was so close. Here. Oh.
Finally.
Yes, it's here. There it is. Oh.
Some open space again.
Well, good. We found it without using online information. Cough. Let's move on. Will I be trying the unknown difficulty? Well, I can't because I don't know about it. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
Why ask me when you can just open it and find out?
Oh, into the grotto. No, I won't be trying unknown difficulty. I think this difficulty is perfect. It's challenging, but not too difficult. We'll see. Maybe once I finish the game, I'll consider it, but at the time, I'm happy with this difficulty. It's locked. Use the secret key. No. Right, let's move on. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, what is this? Ooh.
This is...
Bath. A treasury. Ooh. Are we heading into a kinky scene? Oh.
But this is...
You know, they're called treasure chests. You know, the same things we've been opening. Well, I might give it a try to see how trash I am. Code Vein has already shown me my place, though. Well, give it a go and let me know how difficult it is.
Right.
I think they're sausages. Actually, they're wieners. Okay.
Kisara.
Could you make something with these things? Sure, I could see. Kisara is good with sausages. I did say Law should speak to her if he wants more information. Okay, so Shion really wants that sausage. Now. Alright.
Oh.
Someone was living well. I can't believe Valsef was hoarding something so delicious. Well, sausages are delicious. Another reason... anyway, we should open this place up to everyone. I agree. Yes. Food. We got a wiener recipe. Oh my god.
Nice one, Alphen.
Thanks. Gotta keep up with the competition.
Yep.
Personally, I prefer Bologna.
Okay. Oh, that's good. A witch dress.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must
And a
really
royal
like
cake.
it, Alphen.
And pork. Well, we've got everything we need to make a wiener. We've got the royal dress, pork, the witch dress. Oh wow, we just got an upgrade, but I'm not going to complain, of course. And a royal... well, that's for him. Nice. We're getting some really good equipment, actually. What's our defense for a lot of characters? We're doing good. I think this is a good time to actually carry on with the main story, because there's nothing here at the moment that I want to do. There is some optional stuff like the dungeons, but honestly, I'm not higher level enough for these. I think they're level 60, so once I get level 50, I think I'll be fine, but seeing as there's no side quests available at the moment, I'm just double checking. Yeah, let's move on with the story. I think that's a good thing to do. Now, how do we go? I can't remember where it was. Not the Wedge, not the Owl Forest. Where was it? Iron Falls. Where's the ship? Oh, it's in Calaglia. Outer area. There we go. Well, let's go to Lenegus. Quite excited to actually be heading there.
Looks like we made it here in one piece.
I love the visuals though. The art style is beautiful in this game. It's very painterly. Right. Do we have the food effect? Yes.
You guys want to rest here?
Yes. I want to have a sausage. Oh, it's beautiful. The art direction is absolutely gorgeous.
Do we have enough food stocked up?
So what you mean is, do we have enough sausages? Yeah, we always have enough sausages. They said, the developers said they're going to be remastering an older Tales game. I hope they remaster Tales of Symphonia, because I haven't finished that. I remember playing it when I was a kid and it was really, really fun. So I hope they remaster Tales of Symphonia. That's also quite a popular one as well. Anyway, back to sausages. Where is the wiener? There it is. What does it do? Attack up. Stuffed inside an animal intestine. Biting into it gives off a satisfying sound and unleashes the savoury flavours within. Yep, that sounds like a wiener, alright. Oh, that's quite a boost. Cooking effect, cuts duration, but boost. This is actually really good. But I've never heard of a bad wiener, so there we go. Well, I assume we're going to be heading into a dungeon of some sort up in Lenegis, so I'm going to go with... Sure, you can get a sausage from Alphen too. I mean, what? Yeah, no, I know sausages can last quite a while under cryostasis, but 300 years in a freezer, even the best sausage can get a bit, let's just say, lose its texture. Let's get item rate drop up. Not that one. Hold on. The other one. More dropped items. Right, Eastern rice. I need to buy some eggs.
Hey, that actually came out pretty alright, don't you think?
I was going to say, before I forget, if you like food in video games, Final Fantasy 15 has got arguably the best food system in any game. If you look at their recipes and their dishes, it just, so good. Like, if you think this looks good, Final Fantasy 15 is even better. It's actually quite well known for it. We will sleep with nobody because we can't initiate a conversation. Everyone. I'm actually having onion bhajis for dinner tonight.
All right, guys, ready to go?
With raita, yogurt raita, and mango chutney. Beat that Tales of Arise cooking people at camp recipe. Right, let's go. Right, let's make a hard save. Also, I'm OCD, I don't like having multiple files, so delete. Right, and then save. There we go, good. Let's go to Lenegis, everybody. Yes. I want that space sausage. Press the on button, please.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen...
Oh, the game looks good. I've got a 4K TV. Looks very good. And I'm playing it on PS5.
I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right?
Well, I think that's rather sexist. Why assume it's a her?
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue.
Ooh.
Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall
Oh,
Knights.
nice. I was thinking of getting a gaming PC, but I'm happy with the PS5.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone.
Can you please leave us alone?
We need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
Aww. Well, I was thinking of getting a gaming PC before the PS5 came out, but I'm happy with the PS5. And also PSVR 2 is going to be a big deal, I think, next year. That's part of the reason why I got a PS5, because I want to get into VR. But I have to admit, I'm a Sony fanboy, so... I'm one of the few lucky ones that got the
No.
PS5 at launch from
I can
Amazon.
still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective.
She's calling Law very
Kinda
small.
makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
He's like, anywho,
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arriving.
yeah, chip shortage is a problem.
The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be alright with the controls?
It's just X, square,
You mean the
triangle,
one set to
circle.
automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
I think the issue with gaming PCs, I mean, as time goes by, I think we're in an era now of diminishing returns, right? I mean, yeah, if you spend a lot of money, PC gaming will always be better than consoles. But like I said, we are entering the diminishing returns where to get something that's much, much better than consoles, you need to spend significantly more money. Like, the gap is actually getting bigger in terms of cost to performance. So there's only a limit of how, good frame rate and graphics. I mean, for me personally, 4K 60 frames per second is perfectly fine. I can tell the difference between 30 FPS and 60, but I can't really tell the difference between 60 and 120. Like, it's very little. It's like resolution. I can barely tell the difference between 1080p and 4K, if I'm completely honest with you. 4K to 8K, yeah, great. I'm sure there's a difference, but
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little
it's just
different.
too expensive.
Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
I don't have the confidence to build a PC, I'll be completely honest. I don't know, I find it quite intimidating. I know it's easy, people say it's very easy, it's like Lego. It is, I've seen videos of it, but I just don't have the confidence of handling like a £1,000 GPU in the event something goes wrong, or static electricity breaks it, or it just spontaneously goes up in fire. I don't know, I just don't have the confidence to do it.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to
Yeah,
address.
mind your own business.
Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh?
Well, indeed, I also
What
have to
was
spend
life
way
on
above
Lenegis
even
like
PS4, so
back
as you said,
You
yeah.
know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life. For as long as I can remember.
I think...
They called it treatment.
Oh,
But in
what's going on?
truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their
Oh,
research.
so that's how she got the
You mean
thorns.
they experimented on you?
Jesus!
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure
likes
out
to
what
get
triggered
poked.
my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day.
So
one
what
test
graphic
after
card have you
another.
got?
I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it?
Oh, okay, so you got like a top hand card.
Like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain.
But that's $5,000 is what? 4,000
I started to
pounds?
have nightmares, visions
Jesus
of the coming
Christ.
apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived.
But I mean, look at the bright side.
One
You've
day I'd
you've
be
now got a
swallowed up
ridiculously
by
powerful
oblivion.
PC that is basically
That's when it hit
future-proofed
me.
for this whole generation.
If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make
The
you
only
believe
games
that.
I really miss
No,
from... I
it's
used to
fine.
have... Well, I
I'm
still
in a
have the
much
same
better
gaming
place now.
laptop.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones
Hold on, I'm
dying
just gonna
to
watch
save
this.
you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
He really wants
a
that
world
V.
free of sacrifice? That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Shion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
Well, no, he can't
Victory
poke her. She's
without
already been
losers.
overpoked, remember,
But that
in
means
the
that a
laboratory.
damn victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars.
He has to poke her in places where she has
We
not
can
been
do
poked
this.
by the scientists.
Together.
But yeah, anywho, back to PC. Yes, you've got a really powerful PC now, but yeah, that's £4,000. That's a lot of money. That's part of the reason. But like I said, I have it was a gaming laptop when I got it 8 years ago, and it's still working fine. But obviously now it's way outdated. It can barely play anything, on medium. It's just, it's the way technology works. And the game I really want to come out on consoles is Guild Wars 2. I'm quite a big MMO fan. Obviously, Final Fantasy XIV, I'm very much looking forward to the expansion next month, but Guild Wars 2 is the MMO I really want to come out on consoles. Whether it will come out or not in the future, I don't know, that's anyone's guess, but we'll wait and see. Right, you two.
Hey, Alvin, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking, and
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby.
Aww.
After all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece,
I mean,
remember?
if you really want...
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alvin, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alvin. It's just wrong,
If it makes you feel
okay?
better, I think getting a PlayStation 5, if you can wait, I think it's a good idea too, because there's not really that many PlayStation 5 exclusives at the moment. There's only, 3 games? I think it's Ratchet and Clank, Demon's Souls, and... I can't remember, I'm sure there's 1 or 2 more, but yeah, those are the main games. You're not really going to start seeing PS5 exclusives until really next year and beyond. Right now, everything's cross-gen, and you're going to get PC ports and stuff like that, so... if you really want a PS5, I would say, especially in your situation, wait for the PS5 Pro. We know that's going to come out in 2 or 3 years' time. But yeah, you've got a really good PC now, so unless you're really into PS5 exclusives, let's face it, most of these PS5 exclusives end up coming out on PC anyway, so... Well, I've got a Let's Play of Demon's Souls on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. All my Let's Plays, well, most of my Let's Plays are blind, but that was a blind Let's Play. I really enjoyed it. That was a lot of fun. I mean, visually, that game is spectacular. I'm not the biggest fan of Souls-type games. I like them, but I'm not a hardcore fan of them. But I really liked Demon's Souls Remake. It was phenomenal. Like, the sound effects, the visuals, the feel of the game, it was just... Oh, God, it was... fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I platinumed it, which is very rare for me. I don't really tend to go for trophies unless I really enjoy a game. But yeah, Demon's Souls is probably the PS5 exclusive in my opinion. Ratchet and Clank looks really good. I don't have it, but that's because I'm not a massive Ratchet and Clank fan. There's Kisara. I always think she has a tail. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's basically an extension to her belt? It just looks weird. Well, some people get off on stuff like that, so...
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride.
I've been playing as her for, what, 30 hours? I've only just really caught on to the fact that it's a belt. I've always ignored it.
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No,
It's your tail.
I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you
got laid by Naori? Good God, we don't want to hear this.
You were inside for 300 years?
You were inside of Naori for 300 years?
Sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely
Good
quite some
God.
lying, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what
He couldn't remember. That's why he kind of just sidestepped and said, yeah, I remember.
I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now. And those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans,
Well, to be fair to
wherever they
Alphen,
might be, to be free.
and this is
If I've learned anything on this
a
journey,
Kisara thing,
it's
she's like,
that.
do you remember, 5 years ago at this exact moment,
Brought me
what I
along
said? And you're
with
just like,
you, Alphen.
we've been through
I'll
dungeons,
forever
we've
be
killed
grateful
lords,
to you.
we've gone through emotional things. I can't remember what you said.
Just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know.
I do find
Whatever
there
we
is,
fight when we get down there,
and it's usually women, I have to say, they've got such good memory, and you think,
probably getting a little
this is
ahead
like
of
a,
myself, huh?
at
Let's take
work,
things
so,
one
oh,
step
do you
at a
remember
time.
when I said this? And I'm like, when was this? Oh, a year ago. I remember I said this to you, and then you said, and then I said, and I'm like, how the fuck can you remember that? I can't even remember what I said yesterday, let alone a year ago. Some people have got such great memories. Oh. And it tends to be women. It really does tend to be women that have such memory. Well, I do too, but I can't seem to remember, like, exact conversations. Like, I might be able to remember, oh yes, you mentioned something about that, but what I said, you said type thing, I can't remember, like, what my reply was a year ago to what you said, unless it's something quite important, but if it's general banter, I can't remember. I don't know how people can remember. Right. Dohalim.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly
I'm proving
should we
okay as a woman
expect when
myself.
we
There we
land?
go! It is women that have such good memory, I don't know
Now
how.
that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegus.
Maybe
I'd like
it's
to know more,
coincidence,
too.
but every
It's been
time it's
centuries
happened,
since I
it's
was
always
last
been a
there.
woman that's had
They
the
didn't
memory.
exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegus was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a
Yeah,
strict
I don't find it
hierarchy.
annoying, because at the end of the
Simply,
day,
the strength of an individual's
it's a good
astral
quality to
arts carries
have,
great
and actually
weight.
it does come in handy.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral
Ooh,
arts are
lore.
innate, right? So people's
As in
positions are fixed at
L-O-R-E, not
birth.
They can
L-A-W.
be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders
Churn out.
wield disproportionate influence.
It's like a bread
And those
maker that
lineages
just keep
are
making
treated as
loaves.
nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an
pop a lord.
underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral
You like
arts.
Dohalim?
You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right.
Oh, I'll
They've
comment
been
after
sitting
that.
pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's
have
refreshing
mixed
to be
feelings
around
about
someone who
Dohalim.
says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
I really
Of
hope
course,
Law and
separating
Rinwell
people
get
into
together. They
castes
make such a
based on
good
something
couple.
arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegus?
I would wager so. Lenegus is too deeply
Well, I
involved
think
in
that's
all
rather
this to discard
discriminatory. You're
possibility.
assuming that she's got red
Chances are
hair. It
she's
could be
also
dyed.
connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
Well, we need to check her roots.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them.
She was just like, I'll hold on to my boob. My only friend. Oh, this is exciting. We're heading on to Lenegus. But you hold on to your left boob, Koma, when you're reassured? I do.
There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegus's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
What crown contest? All the lords are dead!
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
Actually, Kisara's making me
We may
question
not
my
have received a
sexuality.
royal welcome, but
Although,
I doubt our entrance
that tail
went
kind of puts me
unnoticed.
off.
Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're
I
here.
would convert for Kisara.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
The Red Woman?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case,
I bet Alphen wants to touch Shionne's Forbidden Zone.
Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony.
What is this ceremony? I still don't know what the spirit channeling ceremony is.
Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a Sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time?
It's me! I'm
There's
home!
only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shionne's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah, I think you're right about Kisara. But the thing is, though, part of the reason that makes Kisara quite a nicely developed character is the fact they don't emphasize her good looks, because she's meant to be the mum of the team, right? She's meant to be that reassuring, mature, warm character. If they sexualize her, I think that kind of detracts away from it. I think they've done a good job sort of adding humor to her rather than making her sort of that sexy figure. I think they've handled character development very well here, actually. I kind of want to see Rinwell and Lore get together. I think they make such a good couple, but I don't think the game's going to head off in that direction. Obviously, we know Shionne and Alphen. Yeah, that's the main romance, but I really hope Lore and Rinwell get together. They really, really make such a sweet couple.
Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins.
Oh, God.
The capital city where Shionne and Dohalim used to live, no less.
This is exciting.
Who knows what we'll find on the other side.
It's a nice change of pace as well. We've got this sort of sci-fi environment, which is obviously quite a contrast to the more traditional Earthen. I love Lore and Rinwell. I mean, I like every character. Alright, let's have a look at the skit.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For
God,
such a
heebie-jeebies,
loudmouth,
cringe.
you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renins actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Shipping moments. Right, well, let's move on. Right, here we go. How exciting. Is there anything I need to check before I head into a city full of enemies? I think we're doing fine. We got a lot of good armor, actually, by exploring earlier. And I don't know if you watched my last episode, but I did upgrade Kisara's... I played around with the accessory transfer stat thing, and I made this. So she's a lot more resistant to elemental damage, she gets more earth damage, rare drop rate, and increased aggro. So this is a good ring for her, or a good accessory for her. So I'm kind of glad. I really like... I mean, my main character was Rinwell. I like playing as mages. But I kind of want to diversify and play as other characters a bit more as well. I really like Dohalim. I like the fact, I mean, no pun intended, of course, but I like the fact that his rod gets bigger every time he dodges. I mean, it might be a subconscious thing about my sexuality, but I do like the whole mechanic of being able to dodge and the rod gets bigger. If only it happened in real life, eh? Right, let's move on. I mean, it is a fun mechanic. It is quite satisfying, though. The only thing is, I like Dohalim, but I kind of use him as a barrier bot in difficult boss fights. I kind of like the team I've got now. Law is fun to play as, but I find him quite basic, like in terms of playstyle. I don't know, I might play around with them a little bit more. Alphen's fun.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a
Yeah,
lot of
like,
things
unless
that
you're
were
really, really
different.
good at dodging,
This is a
he
bit
dies
more
very
than I
quickly.
anticipated.
But his damage is
The very
good, though.
foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
That's what she said.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Uh-oh.
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest?
Yeah, and I won. Look,
And
I've got a
these
crown.
people-
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me.
Well, that's
We're
me.
looking for the Forbidden
Nice to meet
Zone.
you.
Do you
And
have
I'm a
any idea
Danon.
where we might find it?
I'm
Forbidden
300 years
Zone?
old.
What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever.
I don't know why, but I don't like this guy. He's annoying.
Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself. Okay, Doe?
Doe. You're right, Doe. Nope. Right.
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
Like I was speaking a moment
we
from
could
the
ask them
story instead
about
of
the
just
Red
having one I
Woman,
could be done
too.
with it. Yes.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
One thing I really like.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch
Yes,
of Danans
absolutely.
poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two.
I think that's one of the great areas of development in this game is the characters. Not only did they make every character sort of relevant to the main story. You don't have like a character thing. Well, why the hell are they there for? They've all got their own motivations. They all have their own relationships. But what I really like, and it's quite subtle, is how the game tells you lore behind their skills. Like, for example, in RPGs, when mages use magic, it's just because they're mages and that's it. There's no lore as to how they learn magic or their history. Whereas here, they really do tell you about sort of the background of mages and how they came about and how they learn their skills and all that sort of stuff. So even something like Shion's gun, you know, why does it appear out of nowhere? That's something that they've tackled before. So I like that. I like the touches they gave to their skills. It just gives it that little bit of background. It just makes you feel a bit more connected with what they're doing in combat, rather than just saying, oh, magic just because. I like that touch.
Probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
Dogs? Yes. Right.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
I think Hootle is the best character in the game.
Some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving.
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence,
I do love the owls.
They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here,
no, I don't know, I can't do it.
They would have taken that into consideration to avoid all this chaos.
It's the king. I love the king.
Yes.
King owl.
You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one
I don't
knew
know.
about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought.
I'll never do that again, I
But
promise.
if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Yay! Cheer. Right, let's move on. Right. Hello. Oh, well, that's a shame. Sucks to be you. Oh, there's a map action. Also, I realize Shion and Rimwell are becoming close. Absolutely. Oh, they of course they can use healing arts. Hello. Well, guess what, old man? I'm older than you.
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands.
Oh.
Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know.
So, is Volron still alive then? They don't know what happened.
We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
I still am. You're just seeing things.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris House has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown
Yeah,
contest.
about that.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Right. Let's do the map action. Better get something nice for 54 CP. Oh, fancy parfait recipe. A lavish parfait filled to the brim with fruit and cream. Oh god, that sounds so good. Though extremely satisfying to eat, eating one risks developing more than a few cavities. Well, way to ruin a good description.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing
Ooh.
arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel so out of place here, especially with Shion's bright red dress.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many
That is true.
slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red.
He's like,
Have
that's
you seen
you!
anyone of that description?
Oh, he should say that.
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out
Oh
somewhat,
god.
too.
What are the chances, eh?
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. I
Wow.
want to find her anyway.
Rude.
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time.
God, hope some debris drops on his head. Wait, hold on. I need to explore this bit. And my food is running out, but I want to make that parfait. Also, every other Renan have regular hair colours and look just standard, while Shion's hair is all fabulous. Yes, indeed. This is like pure socialist society right here. Wait, is this the future of North Korea? Yeah, so have you tried turning the on button on? Right. Let's talk to this distressed individual. The Zoogle suddenly stopped listening. As soon as we returned back, I wonder who this red woman is. I wonder if she's even a Renan. Could it be an alien species? Because her eyes looked very weird. We only saw a snapshot, but it looked very alien-y. I wonder if she's neither Renan or Dana, and it's just some external influence. But that would be a bit too far-fetched, though, because we're nearing the end of the game. I doubt they'd throw a third party into this, but who knows? Who knows indeed?
Is everything okay?
Well, I like the colour of her
You look a little
eyes.
lost.
Hmm? Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best.
So did I not
I
know that
can't
Volron
stay here
is
too long,
dead
then.
or
A
he
Lord
disappeared?
can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome.
Yeah, I don't like the
I was
uniform.
hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Well, what do you
Yes,
think I've got on my
strange,
head?
isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
Absolutely.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Talk about
Our
humble.
lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, please.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest
I think I
idea
want to
what's
make a
happened to
fruit
the city
parfait.
after all.
That's what I think.
They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth. That Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Fake news.
Given everything that's happened to
Or
their
no
city,
news, I guess.
the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Zoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's
He's
will.
like, what the fuck am I doing
It's the
here
way
with these
have been
people?
Conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan.
I love owls.
There is one thing I'm still not sure
It's so
about.
cute.
Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and
Yes,
Lenegis.
but Voran is dead.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
I'm so confused. I thought
The points you
Voran
make
was
are
the
valid. Though
Sovereign.
I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at,
Oh,
Dwayne?
what's going on?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
Well, this is
But
interesting.
what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Yeah, that makes
Not if
sense.
The Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alfred said he
Oh,
was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
oh,
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though,
okay,
it
so
would
it's not
appear that the
Voran.
current ruler has gone silent.
Okay, so it's
As
not
for how
Voran.
Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was
I'm
forced
so
to.
confused.
Me, at Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron.
Yes, so
who
he's
also
got.
bears
Yes, he's got the Sovereign's
crest.
crest.
That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Ah, okay, so
Do
he
you
did not
think
win the
Volron
crown contest.
was made sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganeth Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
It's Hootle.
Questions,
Hootle's the maiden.
questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered until we can
Well-
establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
I'm so
Then it's
confused.
decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction.
So here's my prediction.
Let's go find it.
So this is what happened. Okay, let's see this first.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Dahnan city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed.
Well, she seemed to have
I
quite a
say
lot
we
of
hold off
powers.
Judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
The art of conversation.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
I love who tells any
And
expression.
what skill would this be, pray tell?
The rod extension.
You know, when you're talking to people
Oh.
around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
That's because I could
I'm
extend my
afraid I don't
rod.
quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in
She's
no
not
time.
impressed.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
Ooh.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
Look at Hoodle's face.
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Yeah, sorry, screwed up. So here's my hypothesis, but before I do that, I actually need to heat up my oven because I'm going to be making some onion bhajis. So I'm going to preheat the oven. See, they're not the only ones that do cooking. I wonder what bonuses this will give me. Right. Good. I think that the Red Woman is actually a Renan. I think the Renan people look like the Red Woman with those weird eyes. If the people on Lenegis have never even been to Rena, I think everyone on Lenegis is an experiment with Dahnans. Think about it. Well, I say think about it to you, you know obviously what it is, but Dahnans have been abducted, right, to Lenegis. I think the whole of Lenegis is an experimental station run by the Renans, one of which is the Red Woman. That's my hypothesis. I don't think anyone on this ship is actually a Renan. I think they are all Dahnans, and it doesn't make a difference whether they use astral arts or not. I think that's all a result of experimentation. I think Renans look like that Red Woman. That's my hypothesis. Now, I've got questions in the way of, what's this spirit channeling ceremony, Oh, did I? Oh. Yeah, okay. Be good kids. I don't know, that's just what I think. It just seems very weird that no one on Lenegis has actually been on Rena. I just think this whole thing is a laboratory.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, there's sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dahna.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
I can't confirm or deny. Well, we'll find out, I'm sure.
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almeidria, and Volron.
Yes, but Volron has the mark of the Sovereign, but Almeidria actually knew that because Almeidria referred to him as a lord, so it wasn't as her lord, so it's clearly not a secret that he was a Sovereign. At least Almeidria knew.
Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Oh, Renans and their lords. Talk to the people who support the lords. Okay. Well, I actually want to do... I want to get into some combat. As great as the lore is... we'll come back to here later on. I'm sure we can. Let's see where this takes us. Oh, this is still part of the quest. This is still the city.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Residential Zone 4. Residential Zone 16. Well, okay, well since...
The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or viewed in...
Let's go back.
Another way.
Since we're going to be speaking to these people, might as well start from here, right? Yeah, the Lenegis music is really nice. I like it. Right. Who are yous? Canvassing. I'm with His Excellency Erwolsi Teldalis, Lord Balsef. Oh, I never knew his name. No wonder. Yes, that's not very brutish lord type, is it? Erwolsi. It's a very posh name. It's very sort of... It's your typical posh British schoolboy type name. I'm Erwolsi Teldalis. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute, but even I realize he can be an aggressive man.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, bad news for you.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
I can't remember what her full name is. Were we even told? It's something Ildris or something like that. Filbris. I can't remember. Oh god, not her again. She can't upload. Shion Weimar, or Weimar Imeris Daimor. You know you could have just made anything up and I would have just probably agreed with you. That is quite a nice name though. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. Radiates beauty. I actually don't think Dohalim is that attractive. His every word, every syllable is divine. I mean, I like him as a character, but he hails from the famed house Lilcaris and his name Lord Dohalim. He's like, my rod is extending. Yeah, you need help, lady.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
Well, I'm generally the tall and muscular type. That's mostly why I think he's attractive. He's not muscular. He's quite... like, he's quite slender. He's got a nice sort of posture. He's not muscular, though. Wait a minute. You just like people with rods that extend quite significantly, don't you? You could have just said that. Well, he's not. That's true. I'm not going to deny that part too, sire. I mean, I like the older guy, slightly older guy, but I think a 270-year difference, I might draw the line there.
What?
Don't tell me you work for Lord Donim or that dreadful Lord Almadria. Yeah, but when you've been poked all your life, your kind of judgment just goes out the window, doesn't it?
Ganabelt was so horrible to people. Yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Well, let's speak to the others. Also, personally, I happen to be the most attractive male character in the game, but I ship him and Shion so much that I guess his... I mean, Alphen is kind of... he's got a very sexy demeanor, you know. I mean, if we forget about his age, he's, you know, very attractive, got a nice face, he's very mature, he's got a nice deep voice, you know. He is a good-looking character. I mean, Law is as well, but, you know, he's too young. But he's more kind of the preppy type. Like, you know, more like a lusty teen type thing. Rinwell, I guess if you're a horny Japanese man and you're into, like, mage lollies or whatever.
Pardon me.
She certainly has a friendly face. Right, this area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Caenaris. Over the esteemed Lord Almadria. Yeah, you might have to hold on to that dream a little bit longer.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right, too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Yep. She was a nut job. Wait a second. Okay, so that's the next area, but let's just talk to... The reservoir is completely ruined. The roads are a mess, so we can't get any power. Even though we've gone to 2, we can't get in contact with any of our fellow Renans on the ground in Dana. I also love how they design the characters in a way that that one can find them attractive regardless of their sex. Oh, character design is really good. Really, really good. Right. Wait, isn't this the same old man from before?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. How I was just reading about Volrun. Can I help you?
Okay.
Lord Uwagil Hildris. Irwigil. Irv. You're right, Irv. No, I don't like the name. Hildris. Was it not for his sudden death down on the surface? Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface? I can't read. I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Irwigil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like... Oh, so that information has gone out. They basically told them that he's dead? So for some reason, Volran's information has gone out, but not the other lords. Interesting.
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volran either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason...
Well, Kisara's actually not shown any interesting guys, if you think about it.
Because we're threats to Rena.
Or women.
Guess that makes
she might be asexual.
Oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsef and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us.
Yeah, but
so I
no.
guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Yeah.
Well,
but still.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a
No, I agree with this. I get this, but they were monsters, though, with what they've done. So horrible.
Definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust.
Oh, I agree.
As a fellow human being above all else.
Hootle is the best. Yay! Quest complete. Okay, I guess we can... Well, I think this is a good place to end it, because I need to put my onion badges in the oven, because I'm hungry. You know, just because. As a member of the family, you find the route to Disney, you find such as me to Savannah when there are Zoogles. Okay. So yes, I think this is actually... Ooh, hello. Okay. Ah, sucks to be you, little girl. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is a good place to end it. Let me make a hard save, so we made quite a bit of progress, story-wise at least. But we've got so much lore, it's incredible, but also more questions, because now we're wondering, okay, you know, that red woman, you know, she might be either an alien, as in neither Renan or Danan, or she might be what an actual Renan is. And everyone that's on here is basically someone from Dana, people that have been abducted from Dana, as an experiment of some sort. But I'm sure we'll find out soon. Anywho, thank you, Ko, for joining as always. I definitely appreciate the company, and I will be streaming again in about an hour, so if you are available, by all means do join, and we'll be carrying on. Hopefully we'll do a bit more combat, because that will be quite nice to do, and I shall see you later on, hopefully. Thank you, and yeah, take care. And oh, thank you. I will enjoy my onion bhajis. I will let you know later if you're on how they were, but I can tell you right now they're going to be delicious. And on that note, I'll be streaming very soon, and maybe we'll find out if Hootle is gay or not. Take care. Bye.